we are going to go over a few things related to the market and the marketing aspect of crypto and blockchain. But before we do that, of course, disclaimer, we are not a financial advice show. This is not financial advice. I do a marketing show about blockchain and crypto, so do your own research. Don't be a dum-dum. And yeah, don't invest in anything you can't afford to lose. Okay, so that said, yeah, marketing insights. Let's take a quick look here. You can see the market's been pretty much flat for most of the past week since the dump of about a week ago. And you can see it's been pretty much flat. Bitcoin's still sitting pretty at around 38.69. So it hasn't really had much movement in that week since it's been dumping. Been back and forth in the 38. It's been the 38 range, 39 range pretty much all week. We're now at 2,098 cryptocurrencies currently listed on market cap, so that is steadily going up. And BTC dominance again is at 52%. Market cap 130 billion. So we can see in the last 22 hours, there's pretty much been a lot of flat line. Some up, some down, but not anything massively significant. Of course, Binance coin continues its ride, now at 1170 per coin. It's just been going up pretty much, counter to most of the week. But also Litecoin, as you can see, has been bucking the trend itself. Is at $49.31. So they've been, kind of flat, but going up. And you could say, that, like a Neo, the exact opposite, kind of flat, but going down. Ethereum Classic still listed on there. I think it's fascinating. Okay, so enough about the market. Coin that had a kind of a massive pump a few days ago, over 100%, is down 11% in the past 24 hours. And PunDX also had quite a big pump in the middle of the week, has retraced most of that. And so, yeah, you can see the market is kind of like all just over the place. But again, the overall general direction is things have been, we had a pretty positive day yesterday in terms of, I guess, direction. Let's just say that. All right, so we're not going to do any TA because that's not what we do here. But it is interesting to look at the, the status of the market for marketing reasons, because it has a major effect on the impact of companies doing marketing on the blockchain, right? And so one of the things to keep in mind is that currently, if you look at some, I think it was Statistica, did a survey end of last year, or earlier this year, end of 2018, I should just specify, or right, I think it was end of 2018 or beginning of 2019, they released some survey data that basically showed that about 4 in 10 marketers or companies that are doing marketing properly have some kind of interest in blockchain related marketing. And that number is obviously up significantly from 10 years ago when it didn't exist to now 4 in 10, which is almost half. And I would assume that by the end of, well, I wouldn't assume it, but looking at the numbers, it appears that by the end of this year, despite the bear market, we will be at well over half of marketers are looking at blockchain as a potential way to improve their performance. And there are very simple, logical reasons for that. And some of the reasons that we can look at, well, here you go. First of all, here is a survey map, essentially, of the blockchain marketing industry in terms of blockchain marketing technology, right? And this one's posted by Never Stop Marketing Research. So if you go to reviews.neverstopmarketing.com, you can see this chart there. What's interesting about this chart, and by the way, it's updated Q1 2019, so it's updated. What's interesting about this is you can actually hover over any of these sections, right? The chart itself is broken down into a bunch of sections. The first one is programmatic advertising, and the second one is decentralized advertising. The third is content marketing. The fourth is social marketing. The fifth is commerce. The sixth is data, and the seventh is management. Now, what's interesting is to see how much those sections themselves will change and how many other sections will be included over time, because, of course, there's more to marketing than just these 7 blocks, but these are the initial kind of 7 big blocks that anyone would recognize as, oh yeah, these kind of all fit in here. And you can put all of the companies currently doing stuff underneath these 7 blocks, at least the ones that are, you know, known and doing the PR necessary to be out there. But you can see this is not a small thing, right? There are a lot of companies, and it is growing every year. A lot of companies involved in blockchain marketing technology. Our own agency, YashaHarari.com, is one of them. Didn't mean to plug that, but yeah. But we are not on this particular poster, but we are involved in many other blockchain marketing, solution efforts, I guess you will. We have our own proprietary blockchain marketing technology that we use, that we develop, that we sell to clients, etc. And it is extremely useful. And the reason that it is so useful is because a lot of the information that we're able to get out of blockchain use of marketing automation technology is information that previously was much harder to verify. Right? So what do I mean by that? Well, it's a lot easier with blockchain to actually verify keywords and traffic and interests and search patterns and all kinds of things. You know, people, if you're looking for anonymity on the blockchain, don't do it near a marketer. I mean, there are some things that you can have anonymity about, of course, and there are some things that you will have anonymity about on the blockchain. You have better control over it on the blockchain than anywhere else. But also, if you're a marketer, you'll have better access to better data on the blockchain, right? So it isn't just a win-win only for consumers and privacy, which, by the way, I'm obviously all for anyone who's listened to this show ever. You would know that I'm a massive fan of being able to keep your details private, right? But at the same time, a proper brand wants to be able to communicate a story properly to the right audience. So they need ways to be able to communicate that tool to the right audience. And obviously, one of those ways is to know the user better, even without, you don't have to know the person's name or anything like that, or any private details. You don't have to know where they live. You don't have to know, anything like that. I mean, at least not their address or anything, unless they're actually customers that you need to ship them a physical thing to. And even then, they could use a P.O. box or whatever. What you're looking for, behavior patterns that can be useful for identifying whether or not the person, well, first of all, if they're an existing customer, right, that's important information. Second of all, they're prospects. You can tell whether or not they're actually going to be a good prospect or not far in advance compared to existing means, because it's a lot harder to fake certain things on the blockchain, and you can get much better, for example, keyword data. If you use blockchain technology, you can see what the person actually said, never mind Google, right? You can actually, like if you have a browser extension in your browser while you're surfing, and it records your search, words on a blockchain, well, that's there. You can't change that, and unless you make it hideable, unless you can hide it, it's going to be there, and it's going to be there in a searchable way for marketers who should have, specialized access to that information, obviously authorized access, because you don't want that information. You don't want to make what you are searching for, or what your neighbor is searching for, or what your friend is searching for, or even what your your arch nemesis is searching for. You don't really necessarily want that all to be public, right? Unless they're doing something criminal or something, and you need access or whatever. But again, just searching for things, that's just searching. There's really nothing wrong about searching, right? I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure there are cases where giving someone access to searching is bad. I mean, obviously it is, because information is power and all that. But for the most, the huge majority of people, we're talking about, billions of people on Earth who just want to use information in relative comfort and convenience and privacy. And they're just searching for normal stuff that relates to their life, their interests, their passions, their work, their job, their fun, their family, whatever, their friends, other interests of theirs. You don't want all of those searches. First of all, you don't need them all stored forever, right? And you don't want them all accessible to everyone, right? But they should be accessible as long as they're relevant. Let's say a 30-day window or a 90-day window or maybe a 2-year window on the outer limit or whatever, depending on the topic, let's just say. But, contemporaneous topics, probably a 30 or 90-day window would suffice. At the outer limits, maybe 6 months, for marketing related information around popular topics or trends that tend to go away pretty quickly. So you can get far more accurate information, right, with those kind of tools, blockchain developed tools. So that's why we develop them in our agency, and many others are also developing marketing tools specifically with blockchain in mind, because those tools will now enable you to have just far better insights than, frankly, the extremely limited information you get from Google and the, how shall I say it, the very skewed information you get from every other third party that's trying to present you a tool that's supposed to be as good or better than what Google was before they got so filtered that you basically, you don't see 90% plus of the information anymore. Right? And they're trying to tell you that 10% is somehow representative of your whole audience. Well, why do you trust them? How do you know they're not just lying to you? It's really a good question, right? I mean, how do you know Google is not lying to you, or anybody else that you're using is not lying to you about the data they're collecting on you? You have to verify it with another way, right? It's not always easy to do. For a lot of people, they just go with the free route. That's all they use. They don't verify. They just assume that whatever they're being told by Google or whoever is accurate. Well, what if it's not? Or what if it's completely misrepresentative? What if it is totally misrepresenting the facts? What if you're getting a view that's so skewed of your own audience that you really don't know who's looking at your content, and you don't know what they're looking for, and everything Google is telling you is actually counter to your long-term business interests, your short-term business interests, your business interests, whatever, right? You think they can't be doing that? Of course a computer can make that kind of decision and tell you one thing when really it's another. It's not a perfect thing, right? It's algorithms. As great as they are, they don't necessarily understand what you're trying to communicate, which is why it's so important as a marketer that you do your communicating as your top priority. Your messaging, the brand evolution, the story arc, and everything else has to be super clear, super well defined, super easy for anyone to read and understand immediately what's going on, what are you marketing, what is the story, where does this come from, where is it going, all that stuff. You need to be in control of that and extremely accurate, and sort of making sure and proactively making sure that the search engines are not misrepresenting your information to people. And that requires a lot of testing and checking out filters and funnels and making sure that people aren't being blocked from your content. And then you need to make sure that the data that you see from those sources at least matches, generally speaking, all the other data source analysis tools that you have available to you, right? That you actually use. Pick at least one, right? Don't just use one tool to decide all of your data analysis. It would be very dangerous. Not everybody can do that. I get it. But if you're in a large enough enterprise, you should have multiple BI kind of tools available to be able to dissect and analyze and compare. And if you're in a small or mid-sized business and you don't have access to something like, whatever it is, I'm not going to name the names of the tools, but there are many tools that will allow you to see, insights into your traffic, even not on the blockchain. Regular regular traditional digital analyst tools will allow you to see other data. Whether you use any of those or not, if you don't use them and you're in a real company with more than just a few employees and you actually have a marketing department of any kind, even if it's just one person, you really need access to a tool that's not just Google Analytics to compare. Because again, if you're just letting Google tell you what you have and what you don't have, you're making a huge mistake and you're leaving a lot of your potential business literally on the table, unserved, and disaffected by your disinterest in knowing more about what is effectively 90 to 95% of your audience for most people, right? Like if you look at your keywords in Google Ad analysis, how many of those keywords fall under, not defined or, unknown or hidden from you? It's over 90% for most people. You don't get to see the information that people are searching for because most people by default leave that function turned off because Google made that the default some years ago now, and they have not changed that around. And it has caused massive upheaval and confusion and problems for a lot of companies. It has actually decimated some marketing campaigns because they just don't know who is searching for what. And even the very best non-blockchain tools out there are not 100% accurate. Very often that's because they track clicking visits different than, there is no standard. Are you tracking first click, first interaction, last, second engagement? What exactly are you tracking? And as long as there is no standard between all of the platforms that they all do it one way, and there can't be just one way because there's many ways to market and there's many ways to attribute, right? As long as there's differences of attribution, you're going to have differences in data. But you can get a good enough sense, a really good enough sense, if you have at least 2 or more business insights tools, right? And without them, you're really limiting your ability to know properly what's going on. So I absolutely recommend, if you're in marketing, to get one of those tools if you don't already have it. Take a look again at this particular ecosystem that we're in. I guess I have to mention one of them, like a traditional digital. I'm going to mention one that I'm not even a huge fan of, and no disrespect to anybody that works there that I know, and I know some really senior people there, but like Sisense. Okay, there, I said it. Sisense. I should put the description in the. I guess I'll put the description. But Sisense is a very powerful and useful tool, and it is also sometimes very inaccurate, right? So that's why it's important to basically make sure that you don't just rely on the one analysis tool. Anyway, I've been going on that for hours. I don't want to work minutes, too many minutes. You get the point. Use a data analysis tool. Don't be stuck out in the cold doing marketing work without a clue as to actually who you're talking to, right? You're just talking on estimates, and that does nobody any good. Hang on, are we here yet? Are we live? I just got a signal that there's some kind of traffic jam with the bandwidth. Let's see if this thing is good. We are live. But I think, oh boy, okay, we're going to fix all the description and everything else below that you should see at some point when you see this file live. But in any case, check out this site, reviews.neverstopmarketing.com. By the way, none of the pages that I'm showing you are sponsoring or anything like that, endorsing. This is all just, I'm sharing this with you because I want you guys to be aware, if you're not aware, that this landscape is big and growing. And again, remember, 5 years ago, 99% of these companies, they did not do anything related to blockchain or anything because it wasn't the thing. But now they're zooming in, they're rushing in with all kinds of different tools, all kinds of different, abilities, let's just say, to give marketers the upper hand in terms of getting the job done to turn over more KPIs to record numbers with the power of blockchain. Now, one of the very useful marketing type applications that people are using, of course, is social media, right? I think we all know that. And in social media, we have this new tool on the blockchain called Social, which is social.io, social with 2 L's, .io, and you can literally create an account right up in here on their website. And if you're not looking at the screen, it's just a little pretty picture of the screen. And you can sign up to their social network, which even lets you import all of your data, or a bunch of your whatever you can import from your account over on Facebook and Twitter. So you can actually not lose all of your Facebook and Twitter info, migrate it over with the click of a mouse, and then basically you're on this network where you own your content, similar to how Exodus was. At least that's the idea. They say that you have better security and privacy and community. Well, community, that'll be hard to say that you got a better community than Facebook that's got over 2 billion people, right? Like, that's going to take a little bit more convincing. But privacy and security, okay, those things can be achieved with blockchain. And as you can see here, basically you are shown a very similar type of interface that we're all familiar with, a social networking kind of platform. It's a little different, but not very different. It's kind of a blend of, a few different interfaces. And you can see here, migrate your data from Facebook, migrate your data from Twitter. You can see it kind of looks like a blend of Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus, and I don't know, it's kind of, and I don't know if let's just say it's still half-baked, or it looks like it, but it is making a lot of progress, and you can now share your opinions on the blockchain, just like you could on Steam, right? But the difference is here, the difference is that you actually control the data, and that's very different than Facebook or even Steam. Okay, Steam is centrally owned, centrally controlled, centrally managed. It is built with blockchain technology, but is not a real blockchain project, right? On social, you actually control your data. It is actually decentralized. And if you actually create something, it's up there. And if you actually delete it, it's gone, right? So there's a big difference between Steam and social, just in that alone. Now, which one is better? People will have their opinions. The point is, social is an actual decentralized blockchain-based social network. They even have their little currency called Social, or SCL, and you can trade it on, HitBTC, Bancor, Cryptopia. I know some people don't like, at least, a couple of those, Cryptopia and HitBTC, have taken a lot of negative press over the months and years. Bancor, on the other hand, I've heard, honestly, a lot of good things about them. Maybe, you all know better or different, but from my understanding, they're a fine firm when it comes to this sort of thing. And I know some people who are involved in that, and they are not people that I would have any issue doing business with. Let's just say that. They're perfectly fine people that are doing, good work in crypto as far as I'm concerned. Now, what is special about social? Well, they claim to be self-governed, right? They've designed a self-governing network. The community works together to keep social safe and spam-free. They claim that their marketplace lets you buy, sell, or promote products with their peer-to-peer decentralized marketplace. It's not yet released, but they claim that it will be soon. And they say that it's essentially a safe incubator for starting businesses, right? For starting trade, e-commerce, so that kind of thing. Also, they claim that they are building a very friendly, emerging blogging system, right? And that will let you basically publish whatever you want and let the community interact with it. And also, you can do crowdfunding, which is very useful. Crowdfunding through the platform for whatever cause you might have or whatever organization you might be trying to help. That's very useful. One of the very basic values of many cryptos is the crowdfunding aspect. Obviously, Wikipedia did that, or WikiLeaks did that once they were cut off from accepting money on PayPal and credit cards and whatever else that were, through controlled networks. So they went directly to Bitcoin. They allow you here on social.io, they allow you to have feeds. You can view feeds, you can view posts by feed or whatever. You can see who you're following. You can create, with the discovering tools. And you can, of course, just socially share your own feed. So whatever you're posting, people also can subscribe to that. And posts appear also on the timeline in chronological order. They're not, at least not yet, putting any kind of sort of what they call surveillance, or basically spying algorithms that would show your content based on only interests and friends and relations and everything else. No, they just post in chronological order. So it is just a matter of public record. This thing was posted at that time, period, right? And that is very useful from a keeping track of things perspective as an individual. It may not be useful from a let's maximize profit on the blockchain perspective, but that's not what social is all about. Social is about creating a new sort of social platform. Are they a little bit dreamy-eyed, and do they have a ways to go? Yes and yes. But that doesn't mean that they should stop. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't keep pushing for that dream to happen, because it could be a significant and massive, very useful tool for people. There have been, like I said, a couple of other decentralized social networks that have tried and largely failed to, grow and take place to take their place as industry stalwarts, right, in social media. But that's a lot of adoption issue when you just leave everything sort of to tomorrow, and you never actually get around to it, and you don't work on things like making a product that's good enough to adopt. Well, then eventually it's just going to fade away. When your best effort is trying to copycat something else and just say, oh, well, we're exactly like that, only decentralized, so we're a little bit more cumbersome to use, and this and that. When you don't actually add value or perceived value, right, in terms of convenience, comfort, ease of use, frictionless experience, fun, engaging content available, stuff that's, practical, just a better experience. If you don't actually create those things, or the possibility of those things in the architecture of your platform, it's really going to be hard for you to beat the existing legacy system that has all of that and more. Right? You need to be better than Facebook if you want to beat Facebook. And that means you need to have a serious differentiator, a serious value add that for some reason people will be willing to try your, yet another social network, 10 years after people have been burned out of pretty much every social networking idea. Like, there's a very small number of extremely successful social media. There are thousands and thousands that have come and gone, and there are still thousands out there. But how many of them are really massively successful? Right? You can count them on two hands for sure. Let's just go down the list. Right? Google with YouTube, right? Massively successful. Right? That's the second biggest search engine on the planet, and it's the second biggest social network on the planet. And of course, what's the first? Facebook, the biggest social network on the planet. And it's the second biggest video network on the planet. So Facebook and YouTube are really competing head to head in many different ways, except in the way that people engage with the content, right? People tend to watch videos on YouTube and comment with text and videos. People with Facebook tend to they don't necessarily watch video. Well, they do watch video on YouTube, on Facebook, but they also read more. Maybe there's shorter bits of things they read, but they read more than they do usually on YouTube. And they reply usually with more written replies, or if they upload things, they may upload videos, but they tend to upload primary videos on YouTube. And if anything, clones or secondary videos on Facebook, right? But then there's also Facebook that owns Instagram, and Facebook that owns WhatsApp. So we've just listed Google+, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. That's 2 companies Google Plus. No, sorry, not Google Plus. Google, which is YouTube. One less pile of Google garbage, or whatever you want to call it. That'll probably get this video deranked, but there you go, or prevent this video from ever getting traffic. But hey, I don't care, right? If you're, by the way, if you're in the VIP room and you have other comments you want to share, or questions, or if you have any other apps that we're talking about that you want to share, now's the time before I wrap up. For those of you who are maybe just watching on YouTube, welcome. Like, we don't usually have anybody on YouTube because we don't really promote it here, so mobile so much. We promote it on YouTube, and we we put a link to it on Facebook and Twitter. That automatically kind of goes out, or it automatically gets typed by the intern who then hits send. And yeah, so if you're watching us, and either way you're watching us, congratulations for finding us. I don't know how you did it. I'd love to hear how you found us. Leave a comment below. I really would. But okay, so once again, let's go back to this social platform, and just to say, real quick. Okay, so social, very useful, potentially massive kind of tool, right, for blockchain marketing. If you have now a new blockchain social media platform that is actually very interested in protecting users' privacy, but at the same time is also marketing friendly. And how do you make that happen? And that's an interesting story arc. And I think that's very indicative of where the industry of marketing is and where we're going in the next, months and years, while blockchain marketing development tools keep evolving and rapidly. And blockchain marketing aligns itself more and more with automated marketing processes, right? Like AI marketing, or smart marketing, or deep learning marketing, machine learning, all those kind of programmatic marketing tools that are being developed. They're very important. And one of them, right, is, I think, here, this site, it's a social media site actually, but it's using blockchain automation in some ways to improve marketing of certain kinds of content. And this is called WildSpark. So again, check out wildspark.me. If you're not familiar with WildSpark, their slogan is "a new way to pay attention." What does that mean? Right. Well, we all know that mind share and engagement and attention basically is what your commodity's price value is worth to a social media network. They value you as a user, not you as a marketer, but you as a user of a social media. They value your data, right? They commoditize and monetize your data, which means your time engaging with the content. What is your data? It's how many things you clicked on, or spent time on what page, or liked this, bought that, sold that, whatever it is, wrote this, well, hopefully not what you wrote, but maybe yes. As a user, your content, the content that you see, the content that you share, the content that you create, all of those things, the content that you curate, those bits of content and data are perceived as having some kind of value to someone, right? And that someone, in this case, is WildSpark. And they use this thing called Amplify, which lets you basically promote content that you can upload or that you can share. You can use their Chrome extension, right? You can use their AMP, which is a digital currency created by Scenario, Synereo, Scenario. I guess, well, it's a funny word, but so by using the AMP token, right, which is this digital currency they made, you get to, just like on Steam and just like on Twitter now, you can tip people with Bitcoin or whatever, but just like on Steam, you can tip people with Steam tokens. With Amplify, you can basically reward content, right, and then click Amplify, and you're promoting the content you see. Okay, and some of the money goes to the creator. If they don't have an account, then it's stored for them until they create it. It's kind of like basic attention token, where in the Brave browser, you can choose how much you want to give creators on a regular basis or individually, and then you can just donate to them straight from your browser, right? If you have the Brave browser, or if you have some other way of donating Brave, well, that's whatever. It's a token, so you can always give some of your BAT tokens to people if you want. But it's the same thing with here with AMP. Same thing. You get to promote people's content that you like, and you can share links, unique link. And then basically when people come through your link, right, then you can actually earn from having referred people to the content. Even if it's not your content, you can still say, hey, check this out. And then when they come and see your share, you get some kind of AMP token as a thank you. So, for example, you can promote a referral link, if you have one, for anything you might be promoting. And then when they come and visit your referral link, if it goes through this network, you can actually get a tip of amps if the person who visits gives you one or gives you some kind of tokens. And you'll get, in addition, if they go ahead and make a purchase through your referral link, you'll get whatever you're getting through your referral link. So it's kind of a way of doubling up on your revenue potential from an existing line of revenue, a revenue stream, right? So if you're selling, I don't know, if you're selling some kind of cryptocurrency and they're giving you a referral to, or you're marketing cryptocurrency and you're getting, for a client or whatever, or for an affiliate or for anything like that, and you're getting a referral for promoting that cryptocurrency, you can actually get a second referral by promoting it through the WildSpark network, right? By other users coming to see that information that you posted on WildSpark and tipping you or whatever, referring you to other people and they'll tip you, et cetera, et cetera. So there are ways to get creative with blockchain marketing that actually let you multiply your revenue streams with existing content, right? That doesn't exist on Facebook, at least not yet. Now, we all know Facebook is coming out with the Facebook coin or whatever they're going to call it, and they're going to have apparently a stable currency, which is going to be kind of a basket of all the other currencies that are fiat currencies, and that way it'll keep it more stable around the world, so users around the world can use it with some degree of stability and understanding of what the value of a coin is, of their Facebook coin. Will Facebook coin completely disrupt everything about crypto marketing? Yes. But will it absolutely take over and dominate the marketplace? Not necessarily. But there's a high likelihood that more people will have Facebook wallets than all other wallets combined in the near future. Even if they just launch it on WhatsApp, that's hundreds of millions of people. Even if just WhatsApp and Telegram both make a wallet and a coin each, right? They're separate companies, but they offer very similar products. Just those two companies could add well over 100 or 200 million people. And that's not even their whole population size, right, in terms of their user base. So just those companies could probably each add over 100 million unique users that the other company didn't add, right, to the system, right? Line could also do the same thing. It's a massively popular chat tool, and there are others out there that also have 100 million or more people. But we're starting with Facebook. We're going to see Facebook have its own on WhatsApp, apparently. It could easily roll it out to Facebook itself. It probably might check out on Instagram too. Those projects are so massive, right? And we hear that Facebook has a separate office space. I don't know if is it an office building? I'm not sure, but I know it's a separate office space where about 50 employees work. Other Facebook employees are not allowed in there, right? Unless they're I guess Zuckerberg's allowed wherever he wants, right? He's the boss, right? But if you're just a regular average Facebook employee, you're not allowed into wherever they're working on their blockchain project. Why would that be, right? Because it's pretty serious. That's why. It's a pretty massive project. They need to keep it tight under wrap. They don't want anything to leak. They want full control over the distribution of the information, etc. So they're keeping themselves tight-lipped about that. Meanwhile, you've got this tool, WildSpark, which I just really think is fascinating, where you can go ahead and basically log in, create your account, log in, get the extension, not a problem. You can become a creator and post new content. You can upload new content very easily. You can see here, these are just basically videos. You click here on here, I don't know, a video that somebody posted here. And you can see here it has 8.8 total amps, right? It was posted 5 months ago. It appears to be some kind of football video. It's right off of YouTube. It's just an embedded video. I guess it's in Turkish or something. And you can log in and start amplifying. And it's got a bunch, got some comments here, whatever. People can write comments beneath it. You can amplify it. You can post it to Telegram. Right, it's got a good rating, whatever, out of, I guess, 5 stars. You got a 4.9 or whatever that means. You can see here, it's not the most super active network, right? There's things posted days ago that are still up here. Right? So if it was an active network, these things would be flying by. On the other hand, this is a blockchain marketing thing. It's not really, yes, in theory, it's for individuals, not just marketers. But at the moment, when you have such low usage of any kind of blockchain thing, you can pretty much expect that most people using this at the moment are people trying to promote something, right? No one's coming here by accident right now, or very, very few people. And the people that are coming here by accident are pretty much going to consume some content and leave, because they're not going to sign up to amplify anything. You want to amplify something that is a marketing tool, right? So you're going to spend money on something. You're not just going to sit there and post your karaoke video on here and pay money in any kind of token to have people promote it. Maybe you will, but 99% of the people on the internet will not do that. They're going to go watch free content, and if they post anything, they're just going to post it for free and not bother marketing their content, right? You're doing that because you're a marketer. So great. So you should know about tools like this and take advantage of them and realize, hey, look, there's still only tiny numbers of things that are amplified. You don't necessarily have to use this particular platform, but if you did, you realize there is a massive opportunity here to actually get, your content in front of a lot more people if this network grows and grows. Will it? Well, the more content that's posted, the more it has a likelihood of growing, and every day that it survives is another day that it hasn't died. So it's more likely to survive. And every year it survives, another year it's likely to survive, right? It's that whole, principle. You are likely to survive as long as you have survived, or something like that, when it comes to projects and companies and organizations, right? It's not an exact science to say that. Obviously, it's not correct all the time, but it is, generally speaking, a very interesting and correlated statement. So, okay, I just wanted to make those tools known to you, and really just, get the word out about them for you, in case you're not familiar with them. Again, I'm not. They don't advertise with me or anything like that. I just wanted to share these things to you so that you know, because they can be very useful tools. I'm telling you, there's some fantastic results you can get by using WildSpark, by social, eventually when they actually get their whole model working. And of course, there are, any number of opportunities among the, tons of companies you saw in this poster from Never Stop Marketing about blockchain marketing tech. You can see that landscape is growing, and it is not it's not slowing down. It's getting more players faster. So why exactly should you be more interested now than before in crypto marketing and blockchain marketing? Well, because it's a growing field. The opportunities are getting bigger, and the population size of the audience is getting bigger, and we are very much in a stage in the market cycle where we are shifting gears, going from bear market to eventually, a rising tide again. When that will be, who knows? Don't try to time it. Right? I always say it's not about time in markets. It's not about timing markets. It's about time in markets. Right? And I didn't invent that expression, obviously. That's an old saying, but a very useful one. And I highly recommend that you stick to it and keep up the good work with your marketing, because obviously marketing on blockchain is something that is going to make a lot of people a lot of coin and a lot of joy. If you're one of those people, good for you. Congratulations. I hope that you are going to have a very successful future in marketing with blockchain. Once again, I want to remind you people that if you'd like, you can join our Patreon group. We have Patreon set up for people who want to check that out. We have a Patreon page set up. We just set it up for people who actually want to contribute by non-crypto ways, our normal ways that we let people join and support. And of course, you get something in exchange for that support. We're not a charity, right? We're not asking for anything. We're actually giving you something in exchange for any support you give us, a proper transaction. And so you get something very valuable in return, aside from just helping us to make all this content, right? Which does not, I mean, we just make it, out of our own budget because we want to share this. But of course, the more we have, the more we're able to produce, and that is very useful. But again, no obligation, no need. I'm not selling you anything. I never do. I'm not going to ever sell you. You can't get this unless you buy this kind of content on YouTube, that's for sure. People that want to be part of our VIP lounge or anything like that are certainly more than welcome to apply. Be forewarned, usually there is not room available. It is just blocked out by all the seats are sold because we only have a very limited number of people we allow in there. And if you ever really want to join that group, the best thing is to message me because it's just not going to happen without it. Like, the automated process is there essentially at this point to put you on the waiting list. So if you really want to join, easiest thing to do is to message me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are, email, whatever you have. You can contact me through our website. You can go to any of our social networks, contact me there. Then at least you can get on the waiting list. And if we have a spot open up, and if you're at the front of the waiting list, you'll know about it. But for everybody else, I hope you enjoy listening and watching. And more importantly, I hope that you get something out of this that is useful to your marketing. And gives you what you're looking for, to learn and to be a better marketer and have greater success at marketing. Because ultimately, that's what this channel is all about. Like, I'm here. My purpose here is not to pretend to be some financial expert and tell you, I'm going to get you, rich tomorrow by investing in these stuff. No. I'm here as somebody who's been doing marketing since I was a little kid, okay? Like many, many years ago. We're talking very, very early on, way before the web ever existed, okay? I learned marketing in a very, very different way. It was very tech-related, but as a kid. And in the decades, several decades of work I've done since then in marketing, I've learned a lot of stuff about marketing and seen a great many changes and evolutions and radical innovations and disruptions. And I kind of feel, I know most marketers I speak to, they just don't know a lot of things that they ought to know, not because they're not old enough or they don't have experience or whatever. They're so busy running around doing an amazing job at what they're doing that they don't have the time to get the full big picture perspective sometimes. And what I'm trying to do is to give you that full big picture perspective with marketing insights and dive deep, right, where we have specific things to look at, very specific details or whatever, and on the bigger picture to make sure you don't miss anything that's actually significant. Notice I didn't talk about Facebook Coin there until almost the end of that video. Why? Well, because we've already spoken about Facebook Coin before. And everybody else is talking about Facebook Coin now. Well, great. We're not looking for that to tell you what everybody else is telling you. Everyone else is telling you about Facebook Coin because of the financial implications that it may have. And what are the investments? They're trying to not give you investment advice, but give you what is as close to it as possible, I guess. it seems like on a lot of channels. I'm not doing that at all. I'm just talking about the marketing aspect. So I've already covered the marketing aspect of Facebook Coin, and the only reason I mention it now is because it was related to the discussion we had about those social tools, WildSpark, Social, and the discussion of social media tools like YouTube and everything else, existing platforms. So in context, it's relevant to this video, but not as a superseding primary topic, and that's why I was stuck to the end there. So bear that in mind. I'm here to provide that for you. I do it whether you show up or not because I love to create content. One of the things that I love about running a marketing agency is I get to create marketing content with my teams that implement them all over the web and everywhere else, email and you name it. And then I get to talk about on my shows, basically for myself and for my agency, to talk about these different topics in ways that hopefully shed light on marketing for you so that you can take action and actually get better results with whatever tools or whatever means or whatever strategies or whatever tactics you might have picked up on this show. So for that reason, again, thanks for listening. It means the world to me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you will join us again next time for another edition of Crypto Marketing Insights. In the meantime, please leave a message, subscribe, do whatever you want, get engaged and all that stuff with our content. And obviously, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button or the notification button, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're having an amazing time. I hope you're making an absolutely terrific time of your day or night or whatever you're up to. And you know what? Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh, look at that. It's March 3rd. Hey, happy March 3rd. That means nothing. But you know what is March 3rd? Just read it earlier today. There is in Tel Aviv a FinTech week happening, and part of that is this blockchain day that's happening, and a group called Blockchain Israel. I've interviewed their CEO in the past on this channel. You can see that if you search for that. I guess I can put a link to that in the description below. That group is hosting a day today of events and conferences and meetings, etc., and panels at the FinTech Week. So it's Blockchain Day during the FinTech Week in Tel Aviv. So if you're in Israel, if you're in Tel Aviv, check out FinTech Week. Check out Blockchain Israel at the FinTech Week event. Check out their Blockchain Day, which is going on today. And hopefully you'll get some good networking done and some good business done there. And more importantly, if you're there to learn about it, then I hope you get some good learning. Get your learn on and get your brain in power. There's conferences all over the world all the time about this stuff. Obviously, there was one last week in, where was it, Argentina, another one in the Philippines. There's no shortage of great blockchain events happening, and it's great to see that rhythm and that drumbeat starting to happen. So it's good, and I'm excited by all of that, because when you see an increasing number of industry conferences, when it's not yet too many, right? There's a lot, but they're not yet too many. Then you can start to see a pattern where the industry is going to grow and have a kind of long-term, arc that we, can more predictably work with. Even if you don't know exactly who the players will be in 5 or 10 years or 1 or 2 years, you have a general idea of the direction things are going and who are the big players and who's likely to be around. Right? They may change names, they may change brands, they may change whatever, but generally speaking, you can have a sense of where industry is and where it's going in the coming months when you go to these kind of large events. So I highly recommend going to conferences if you haven't ever done it before. I do not recommend going to every conference, because you could waste your whole life just going to conferences and never get anything done. But to pick a couple a year that are of interest to your specific, specialist role, whatever that is, pick them, find them, attend them, be an active player in your own success. Choose to network with the people that can make your work and your results so much better than they currently are. So whatever you're doing, folks, like I said, wherever you are, hope you're making some nice coin today and having great results on your marketing campaigns. And until next time, folks, take care.